Sorry about that. Had a little snafu. We're starting my live session over again, and I'm trying to get everything set up so that you can see what I'm doing here with my acrylic pour technique. So I have everything set up. I just want you guys to see what's going on here. Let me set this up so that, and I promise not to touch anything this time, or I'm going to try not to touch anything. So let's get this all set up so you guys can see what's going on here. It's a little bit tricky here. No, I don't think you can see anything. I can't see anything. I can see the canvas. So there we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can see the canvas. Okay, so down here you can't really see down here, but I have these little cups that have my, they're going to have my paint in them. So I'm going to pour paint in here, and then I'm going to pour it on here, and then you can, wow, it's really hard for me to see. Let me turn this light on. Oh, yeah, that's better. Oh, yeah, I can see much better. Okay, so I have these little cups, and I'm going to be pouring paint in them and then pouring that on there. So I'm going to make, I have 3 paintings that, or 3 pictures that need canvases for them. And one of them is kind of big, so I'm just going to start out with yellow because I really need some yellow. And it doesn't need to be like, have a whole lot of stuff on it. I have a couple of yellow paintings that I did that have like a lot of like fiery looking stuff on them, and this one doesn't need to be that, doesn't need to have that much yellow. I mean, it doesn't need to have like a whole lot of movement in it, but it's still going to have some movement. I don't know if you'll be able to see that with this, because this is like, I'm not that happy with the quality of this. So, you know, some of the stuff that I've seen that people do, they have like really good quality. You can see it really well. I don't know if they're using, I don't know what they're using, but I can tell you, I'm really, I'm really not happy with the quality that I'm getting. And I don't know if that's because I'm using my iPad, or, you know, if it would be better if I use a phone, or I really don't know what's happening. So I'm using lemon yellow. And this is just some like El Cheapo paint that I got from Walmart. But it turns out that it works really well. Unfortunately, you know, I have to buy a lot of it to make anything. So, and then I'm going to use golden yellow. And sometimes, you know, it's not the... Oh, wow, that's a pretty color. Ooh, yeah. Oh. No, I don't think I really wanted to mix that. Okay, well, I forgot how to do this. So, well, yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to just keep those 2 yellows together. Because, yeah, I'm going to keep those 2 yellows together. Okay, so I have my paint, my yellow, and I need some orange. And I'm going to use outrageous orange. Outrageous orange. Yeah, that's a nice color. That's a nice color. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's a really cool color. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm liking that. And then, on all of these, oh, wait, I want purple in that, too. I need another color. I think I'm going to do, like, 3. You would never believe that orange and purple make a really cool color together. I found that out by teaching my kids how to paint, how to do paint mixing when I was teaching 5th grade painting. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Huh, let's see. I don't know about wisteria. Let me see. No, I don't like wisteria. Not for this. Maybe for something else. I'm trying not to use all my wild grapes. Let's see. What other purple do I have? It's not purple. Iris. I kind of want to do... Yeah. Iris, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. I might be out of that. I might have to use like regular acrylic paint for this and make up some purple, because I don't think I have enough purple. I don't see any. Oh, man. No, that's brown. That's brown. That's gray. I don't have any purple. What's this back here? No, that's brown. Oh. Oh, ooh, that's a nice blue. Ooh. I'm sorry, I get really excited about color. Okay, I'm going to have to mix up some purple, because I don't have any. So I'm going to mix some purple out of some of my favorite blues, which are phthalo blue. That seems kind of thin. Phthalo blue is really thin. It's, I don't know what they do with phthalo blue and phthalo green. And it's P-H-T-H-A-L-O. I think that's phthalo blue. That's how I pronounce it. That's how my professors pronounced it. So that's how I'm pronouncing it, phthalo blue. But anyway, phthalo blue, ooh, wow, I'm sorry. Phthalo blue is always a really thin blue. It's really thin. It just pours right out. So I'm going to mix a lot of it because I have a lot. I have one other piece that needs to be purple. So I'm going to mix a whole lot of it. And because it makes a really nice purple. And let's see, what red do I need? Magenta. Yeah, I think magenta is going to work out pretty well. I have magenta. Magenta. I think that works better than, I think I have some red that's just like, well, it says bright red. I don't know if I've used that, but I'm going to try the magenta because the magenta works pretty well with, I know what this looks like. I'm not sure what the bright red looks like, but I'll put that magenta in there. Oh, and that pours out kind of thin too. This is Blick paints. So I'm going to get my little sticks out. And this is what I use for this kind of paint. I don't actually use a paintbrush because, you know, I don't really need one. I'm sorry, I got to turn the light on so I can see what color this is. Okay, that's still really blue. It's kind of purple, but it's still really blue, so I need some more red. And usually red's the strongest color, but not in this case. Because, well, I put a lot of blue in there, so let me just leave the red here so I can get the nice purple. So I get the purple I want. Wow, that blue is really strong. Oh my gosh. You can't see this because it's purple, but it's really, really dark. I may have to add some white to that. And I just use my acrylic, my big acrylics. Not my little acrylics for my white, because you have to use so much white in these paintings that, you know, it doesn't make sense. Ooh, that's a nice purple. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's a really nice purple. I don't know if you can see that. That's a really nice purple. Let's see, where's the camera at? Oh, you guys can't really tell. It's a nice purple, though. It's a really nice purple. It's kind of dark still. I may want to add a tiny bit more red. Let's see. And, you know, I look at these videos and I say, stop there, stop, leave it alone, it's fine. I'm like, nah. You know, this is my painting, so I can do what I want to. Oh, yeah, that's nice. Oh, that's a nice rich purple, too. It's nicer than the cup. Nicer than the purple cup. You can't really tell, but it's a really deep, rich purple. And I'm going to add some white to it now. Let's see, where's the white? For white. Here we go. Is that white? Oh, wow. I'm getting low on white. Okay, so I'm going to add some white to it. And you have to be really careful because the white will take over. Okay. Just going to start a little bit at a time because I still want it to be a nice dark purple. And the white will tell you if you have enough red or not. If it's like still really like blue violet, or if it's red violet, which is kind of, I kind of want it to be a little bit like kind of really in between, like just a true violet. Okay, I hope that wasn't too much. So a lot of this is going to be me mixing paint, and quiet as it's kept, that's the artist's life. Okay, that looks really blue violet to me. That doesn't look like it's red violet, so I'm going to add some more paint. And I know that seemed like a really small, gosh, this is a lot of paint. Oh, wow, that might have been too much. Oops. Okay, let's see. Maybe I should have did this before, but, you know, it's kind of, you kind of have to see what artists do and what they go through. That's still a lot. I need some more white. Okay, that might have been too much. Oh, wow, it's really blue. Oh, no. See, now. Now you can kind of tell it's really blue violet. That is really blue. That's a blue violet. Oh, Jeez, how can you see anything? Yeah, you can see. If you can see it in comparison to what I have there. I kind of wanted it more in that red-violet area. I don't know if this is going to work out. I may have to start over with my paint and put this somewhere else, because this will be good for the other painting. So I'm going to put this in half because I want some kind of blue-violet. So I'm going to put half of this in here because I do want a blue-violet, but I don't want it for this painting. What am I doing this? Oh yeah, I want this, yeah. I want half of this for this painting and half of it for something else. So I'll just start over with this. I'll save this part that's in here for my other painting because I'm mixing up for everything right now. Okay, so this one I'm going to add red to. Oh, here it is. I'm going to add a lot of red to this because I don't want it to be so... I want this to be much more red. Yeah. I can see this is turning red now. Geez, that blue, that phthalo blue is really strong. Wow. I can't believe it. It's really, really strong. Hey Gina, how are you? This is what I do. I spend my time waiting for paint to dry. Mixing paint, waiting for it. And this, when I poured this acrylic on here, oh my gosh, it takes forever to dry. It takes like 2 days for this stuff to dry. So, you know, if you ever want me to do a painting for you or something, take my word for it. If you got some favorite colors or combinations of colors that you like, oh no, that's beautiful. This is what's in here. This is this color here that I'm mixing right now. That's this color that I bought. This is called Wild Grapes. This is this color right here that I mixed up myself. So now I have enough of it and I can move on to the next color. So I'll put those two away because I don't need them now. Yeah, hooray. Okay, so now the next color I need is blue. And let's see, this, let's see, this is for, I have that purple, and then I need a blue. But right now I'm doing yellow, so I need yellow and orange. So I'm going to put the purple away for now. Well, I do need a little bit of purple. I'm going to put a little purple in here. Because this is the painting that I'm doing. I'll show you right. I'm mixing up colors for this. For this right here. You guys see that? And she's got like purple in her hair. And then this came out really kind of yellowish. And I'm not going to keep, I would like to keep a similar background. Because I'm just going to cut her out and I'm going to put her face on here. And I want her to have kind of a yellowish background. But I want it to be more interesting than that. And then the purple, the blue-violet that I made, I'm going to do for this brother. He's got these beautiful locks. And I want him to have a more interesting... I like the background that this is, but man, trying to cut those locks out is going to be a real pain, but that's okay. I'll do that. And then this is a sister that was one of the first ballerinas. Wait, you can't really see that. Turn the stupid light out. This is a sister that was one of the first ballerinas. And so I want to do her in some orange and some yellow and a little bit of blue. Not a lot, because if you mix too much orange and blue together, you're going to get brown. I tell that to my kids all the time, and they still get brown. And I'm like, yeah, you don't want to put that in the sky too much. So, I've got my orange, and I've got my, okay, so I've got those colors. I need to mix my blue together so I can have some blue. And I really like this blue, which I think is that cobalt blue? What blue is that? No, it's not navy. What color is this? Oh, it might be primary blue. I think it's primary blue. This is a nice color. It's a really nice color. I like it a lot. Yeah, oh yeah, that's primary blue. Ooh, that is so awesome. I love that color. Yeah, let's go with that. I'm going to leave cobalt blue alone for right now. I might make a... Nah. Okay, and then I need some red. And I think I'm going to go with... I'm going to go with crimson. I'm going to go with crimson red. Go some crimson red. So that's going to be for the ballerina. With crimson red, and she's going to get her orange. She's going to get some orange too. I need some more orange, I think. She's getting, that's the outrageous orange. I want her to have a different orange. I'm going to give her nectarine. So I want her to have a different orange. Oh, that's really light. No, I think I might get some more. Let's mix that up with something else. Put some of this, let's see. I like that. I don't have any more of that. Let's put some outrageous orange in there with that nectarine. And mix those two colors together. It's not going to be that dark, but I need some more of that. Sorry for the sound. I know it sounds gross. Sounds like somebody farting. Okay, so let me put those back so that they're out of the way. And then I need to get some more white. So let me find my white. And I'm going to use this white. This is a special white that I have. It supposedly has this stuff in it that will make bubbles in my paint. So, and it's white. And I bought it because I thought that it would, like, go, well, it can go in all. I don't really want it to go in any of my paint. What I put in my paint to make the little bubbles is something called Floetrol. And that is some kind of paint thinner stuff. But I'm going to put that for my white because I want white. And I'm going to have quite a bit of it. So I'm going to put that in here. And I have quite a bit of white because I need to pour that in there. And then what they don't tell you in all those little videos that everybody watches is that you actually have to add water. If you don't add water, then you're going to have a problem because your paint cannot be all thick and clumpy like that. Okay, that looks like whipped cream. Okay? It's not supposed to look like whipped cream. You know, you can't even hardly pour it out. Okay? It looks like glue or something like that. It's not supposed to look like that. And, you know, really, I do add one other thing to it, which is silicone. But you don't have to. You can, you don't have to. I do. I've tried it without it. It doesn't give you the bubbles. Sometimes I don't want them. Sometimes I do. It just depends on how I'm feeling about it. Oh wow, where's my paper towels? But, you know, the deal is, basically when you're doing this kind of artwork, you can decide what you want. So I'm going to clean that off first. And then I need a little bit of brown. That's the last color I'm going to add. And I have this really cool chocolate sprinkle. Did I buy some more of that? I did, yeah. Chocolate sprinkle, I love that because, you know, I'm going to add that with a real, this is like a color that I would get at the art store called burnt umber. Except for, well, they don't sell it in little teeny things like this. You have to buy the big thing. So I'm like tired of it like farting out. So yeah, that's the color. It's a nice brown. It's a nice kind of buff brown. So I'm just going to add some chocolate because, you know, my people are brown. But it needs a little red in it because we're a little brown red, a little brownish red. So I have also a color that's called burnt sienna. And I'm going to put that in there to give us a little red tone to our skin because that warms it up. Because this is kind of a grayish brown, and I want to warm it up, but I don't want it to be too warm. And I always add like the skin color into whatever I'm doing because, you know, it's nice to have a little bit of that skin tone in there. Let's just go. Okay, it's always nice to have a little bit of that skin tone in there. Okay, and then the thing that's the most important thing, oh God, to have water. Oh man, I don't have any water. Oh, wow. I might have to put y'all on pause while I go get some water. You got to have water in here. You really do. I'm going to have to put you guys on pause while I go get water. I'm so sorry. I was not totally prepared for this. This is totally not how I operate. Because I always have water. Well, you know what? I got water in my bucket. That's it. When in doubt, use water from the bucket. Yeah, I'm going to use that cup. The cup is really dirty. Let's see. Do you have any more clean little cups? That's you. What did I do with those? I don't even know. Kind of doesn't matter. When in doubt, dip from the bucket. Okay, because all of these need water in them to thin that paint down, because that paint needs to be really thin and able to pour. And this white's going to need the most water of all. Okay, so now I have to mix paint. So this is the most fun part of all. This is where you can make the most mistakes, and this is also where you can have the most accidents. So, and this is also where you have to add more paint if you add too much water, which I think I just did. No, I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be fine. And every little cup gets their own little stick. So every cup gets a stick. One for you, 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 one for you. Okay, I got sticks for everybody. So let's try the orange. Mix up the orange. And I know it doesn't seem like a lot. And these people, they be mixing a whole lot of paint, and they be wasting a whole lot of paint. And you know what? I don't have the money for all of that. So I try to use every single little drop of paint that I have, and I'll spread my paint around, and if it doesn't have bubbles, it will. So what? Because my thing is not all the little bubbles that you can make on your painting. My thing is to get a nice background that's interesting, and then, because I'm going to put something else on there, because I just feel like, you know, that's cool, but it's not all of that, really. It's just not. It's just not all of that. Okay? The thing that's the most interesting to me is what I'm doing with the painting. Okay? And I'm making a really cool background, and, you know, then I'm doing something else with it. But, you know, to just pour some paint on your paper and be done with it, and you don't do anything else with it, I don't know, you know. I did that, and I took that to an art show, and the reaction of the people was like, yeah, okay, it's cool, but, you know, you want how much for this? And I was like, okay, that's, you know, clue number one. You need to do something more with this, okay? The people are looking at you. They're looking at the other artists that are out here, and they have drawings, and, you know, they've done all this exceedingly fine work, and you're asking how much for these pieces of art? And it really wasn't that much, but they were looking at me like, girlfriend, really, you just poured this paint out here? Because I'm sure they've watched these videos before. And they're like, you just poured this paint out here, and you want me to pay you how much money for this? And they just looked at me like I had lost my mind. And then I realized I had lost my mind, and that I needed to do some actual artwork on them. Like I needed to put a paintbrush on there and do stuff. So, you know, I'm like, okie dokie then. Let me see what I'm doing here. Let me get it right. So, you know, I don't think I have enough water in here. This looks like it's going to be kind of clumpy and thick. Let's see here. Yeah, that's looking a little thick. There's a little bit of water there. Let's see, a little bit more in there. Yeah, and it's okay if this is really thin, because the first thing is to put the water in. Let's see. Yeah, that's still thick. It should be kind of runny. So if it's too runny, don't worry, because when you put the other stuff in, the Floetrol, which is this stuff here, Floetrol, when you put that stuff in, then it thickens it up even a little bit. And some people put Mod Podge in, and glue, and all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, they're putting all kinds of weird stuff. They're trying to stay relevant and stay, you know, stay interesting. But what I have found is that, you know, if you don't do anything with the paint when you're done, you don't do anything with the paint when you're done, you know, I should really put gloves on now. Sorry. Let me put my gloves on so that I can stop getting paint all over me. Because this is going to get messy very soon. So I might as well put my little blue gloves on right now. Yeah, and I got these at like Home Depot or Lowe's or someplace like that. This stuff I got at Home Depot and Lowe's. One was like a little bit more, one had more, they both had the same price, but one had a larger container. Because I was looking for a gallon, and one of them, I can't remember which one, so I'm not going to be, you know, advertising for either one. Okay, I'm just telling you. One had more than the other. So, that's my purple. That's my blue violet. Okay, so the last one is the white. So we'll see how much. Ooh, I'm going to need a lot more water. Because that's not going to. Wow. Man, that's like ice cream, man. Let's see. Let's get some more water in there. It's going to be a lot of white. Okay. Let that float for a minute. Yeah, this is. Yeah, it's still like ice cream. That's heavy. That's a lot of white. I hope I use all of this, man. This is quite a bit here. Alright, let's see. Okay, yeah, that's standing out kind of nice. Okay, yeah, so it should kind of drip. Oh, it should drip more than that. No, it should drip quite a bit more than that. Let's see. Let's add some more. Shouldn't be looking like that. It shouldn't be quite as thin as milk. Like, maybe it should be, I don't know. I don't drink milk, so it's hard for me to tell. It's been a long time since I had milk. Yeah, it should do like that. Yeah, it should be like that. Okay. So, now I can add the Floetrol. Do some shaking. Shaking. This is what gives you the bubbles. Okay, this is what makes people addicted to this stuff. It makes them like think that everything they do in life should be revolve around this stuff. It's very cool. So I'm going to add some of this. And almost when you add it, it starts to give you the bubbles. And I'll like see if I can like, and like seriously, this gives you so much paint that it's almost ridiculous. And I'm not measuring, and they're like, there's some people, they're like, oh yes, you need to measure, and you need to have, they got a scale and stuff, and they're measuring out like they're on a diet or something. And I'm like, oh no, I'm so sorry, I'm not doing all that. That's like way too left brain for me. So, I don't know if you can see in here. Where is the camera? It's over here. Wow, I can't see. Turn this dang thing off. I don't know if you can see in there. Where is the little camera hole? Can you see in there? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay, so you can kind of see in there. It's got some little teeny bubbles in there. See those little teeny bubbles in there? Okay, so it's already making bubbles. So I'm going to, like, mix this a little bit. Oh, the white has, like, a lot of bubbles in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see if you can see that. I can't see what you guys are seeing. Oh, yeah, you can see it a little bit. Oh, wow. The blue and the purple have the most bubbles. Ooh, wow. Ooh, look at that. Oh, wow. Let me see if I can show you guys. The purple has these bubbles in it. Oh, man. See, this is what happens when you have funky stuff going on. Look at those bubbles in there. You see that? That's not me just pouring it. That's it getting these bubbles in there. That has these little bubbles in there. So I'm going to just, you know, kind of stir it a little bit. I'm not stirring it a whole lot. Oh, you know, I shouldn't have did that because, you know, that just needs to sit because I'm not using those colors. Okay, so this one is going to be yellow and orange. I'm going to use some of these colors together. Okay, so now, turn this on so you can see what I'm doing. I don't know, does that help or not? Well, we'll see. And I don't think I'm going to use any of the, I don't think I'm going to use any of the, I'm going to do these all at once. So I'm going to start pouring this on here, and I'm going to pour it where I want it. Hopefully my table is level. I don't know. I have never tried this on this table. I'm going to pour this around the outside because that's kind of where I want it. We'll see what's going on with my table, if it's level or not. And then I'm going to pour some of this light orange. Pour some of this inside of here and around here. And then some of this. So I don't want a whole lot of detail in here. It looks like it's going towards the middle. I think I want some more yellow on the outside here. Some more yellow on the outside. Okay, now I'm going to get my little spreader, and I'm going to start spreading the stuff around where I want it to be. So I want it to be spread around here. And there's something weird going on with this canvas. It's really weird looking. Okay, so I'm going to spread this around where I want it. Oh yeah, and you see, you can kind of see that there's like bubbles popping up. I can kind of see the bubbles popping up. And that's what they're all, oh, look at the bubbles. Oh, that's so nice. It's getting these bubbles popping up. So I'm just going to put a little bit across the middle because I don't really want it to, I don't really care what's in the center. You know, that's just, I just want it to cover a little bit. And then I'm going to start to pour it, let it pour. Because I want it to go around on down on the sides. And that's where it's going to be interesting. Just all along the sides. So I'm going to pour it off the sides. Is where I want it to pour. Okay, and then I'm going to pour it on this side. So I want it to be on this side too. You know, like I said, I'm not using a whole lot of paint on here. So I'm not interested in like having all my paint everywhere, all on the floor, and they have big giant puddles of paint. I'm like, oh, I don't think so. I do not think so. Now, if this was a smaller painting, then I would be more interested in having stuff flow around, but it's not. So this is how I do what I do. Okay, so I'm going to have this come down. And I'm liking what I'm seeing down here on the bottom. I'll turn that down so you can see it a little bit. I don't know if you can see better or not because it is wet. Okay, oh yeah. And this thing right here is like a cake swirler or something. You use it for cake. Okay, oh yeah, that's looking nice. I'm liking that a lot. So I'm going to try not to drop this on anything on me. Okay, so now, let's see what happens here. I'm going to put this. And then I have one other thing that I can do with this once I get this to start pouring it from the other side. Then I can add heat to it, which makes it really cool. So right now it's like starting to move in this direction. And I did not add silicone to this. So now I have it moving in this direction. I'm going to put some of this on here, let it pour over the side. I just want this to be, so when you decide to hang this in your home or something like that, you don't have to worry about buying a frame because the sides are done. And a lot of artists do this so that people don't have to worry about buying a frame. They can just hang this piece. This would be what would be called a gallery wrap, except for, you know, this wrap right here has the gallery. You know, this is what's called the gallery wrap. So it's wrapped all the way around. It has a mirror wrap. And when you have a gallery wrap, it's just basically that the sides are professionally done. Okay, that's what they mean when they say gallery wrap. The sides are professionally done. So now that I have that part done, I'm going to put this down here, wipe my gloves off, and then I'm going to get my heat gun, and I'm going to turn this on so you can see a little bit. And I'm going to try and stay away from my other paint. And this is going to like make some of these bubbles pop and come up. And I have a torch, but I neglected to put some butane in it. Because y'all know I'm a little bit scared of fire like that. So this will hopefully make some of these bubbles pop. I'm not really seeing too much of that. Turn on high. Yeah, I'm seeing a little bit. There we go. There's a little of it. Some in the corners. Okay, well, that didn't do too much, but it did a little bit. So I see a couple of areas where it's really, really thin. It's not. So this one I'm going to call this one done. And I don't have much paint to worry about. That one's done, y'all. So I don't have too many areas to worry about with that. Clean my gloves off. And I'm going to put that one away to dry. And again, like I said, it takes a couple of days for this stuff to dry. So this one's going to go over here on the floor, my studio, to dry. Oh, my window's open. I can hear my neighbors playing their mariachi music. They're having a good time. They're really having a good time. It's so hot up here, I'd have to open the thing up. I don't want to turn my air conditioner on. I refuse. I'm sorry for you people in Minneapolis. I'm really sorry that it's like 12 below zero outside for y'all. And I'm talking about turning my air conditioner on. That's like so rude, isn't it? I'm sorry. I wish I could be like really upset about that. I really do. I wish I could be upset about that. But that's why I moved, y'all. Because it's like February. And you guys are experiencing like 12 below zero. And it's like 75 here, you know. And, you know, y'all in Denver, I'm sorry for y'all too. I love y'all. But, you know, I can't deal with all that snow anymore. Let me get another paper towel and clean this area up here. So now I'm going to do another one, the other one. And this one will be a little bit differently. I'm going to do this one a little differently because I'm going to do the one for the brother with the dreads. And this one's going to be the blue and the purple. And I'm going to do that one a little bit differently. So I'm going to like make some little oh wow, this canvas is weird. It's going in every different direction other than that's doing stuff I didn't expect it to do. Okay, well, we'll just work with it. The canvas is like bowed in the center. So it's not going where I wanted it to go. And this paint's very thin. Alright, well, put some of this blue in here. Oh, but the colors are so awesome. They really are. So I'm going to put, uh-oh, what is that? Something fell in the paint. I don't know what that was. So I'm just going to follow along with what this is. I'll pick out whatever that was in that paint. It's like yucky. Clean my hands off. Okay, so now I have that. And I'm going to pour a tiny bit of this purple on there. Looks like a big number 2. Let me pour some of that around the edges. And he's got just a tiny bit of yellow in his background, so I'm going to put a little bit of orange around there and see what happens with that. Purple and orange and blue. I'll put a little bit of that around there. Because this won't really mix together like you think it will. So I'm going to put some more purple. Oh wait, let me put this back in here. Well, yeah, it kind of does, but we'll see. It'll be fine. Wow, that blue is really awesome. I'm going to put some more of that in there. Some blue around here, around the edges. So I just want a little bit of that orange in there. It's looking weird, I know. Put a little more purple around there because that purple just kind of melted into the blue. And since I have a tiny bit of yellow left, I'm going to put some yellow in there too. Just a little tiny bit of yellow. So I want just a little bit of green. He had a little green in there. So I'm just going to put some green in there. Now this one I'm just going to pour a little bit. I'm going to move it around a little. And let it do some cool stuff. And make some cool patterns. So we'll see what kind of cool patterns does it make. Especially since it's got a kind of warped canvas here. See, it's making some greens in there. And some blues and some purples. Maybe has a little bit more orange than I wanted. And it is starting to kind of run off. I might let some of that orange run off because I'm not that thrilled with it. Yeah, that orange can go away. And this is, now I'm kind of liking that. I am kind of liking that. I'm not going to use the little spatula thing, except for on the edges. I'm really kind of liking this pattern that I have on here. This is kind of cool. This is a cool pattern. So I'm going to let some of this, need to get some down here this way. This is looking like a marble pattern, like marble paper. I'm going to like Get some of it around here on the edges. I need to get a little bit more on this side. Yeah, I think I'm just going to like grab some. I hate doing that, but just grab some and let it like pour. Once it's wet, it kind of pours a little bit easier into that area. If it's not wet, it's like, I don't want to go over there. I don't know what's over there. I don't want to go over there. I'm liking that blue-green, that it's turning like a blue-green in there. And the pattern's getting a little finer. I just don't want it to get too, you know, stretched out. Let me see if I can turn it sideways. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I gotta let it do what it do. Gotta let it do what it do, like Ray Charles say. Gotta let it do what it do. Okay. Oh, wow, that's looking really good. I'll let you turn it around so y'all can see what's happening here. It's looking like an ocean now. It's looking real oceany. That's looking real oceany. I'm liking it a lot. This is a really cool one. Okay, so I'm going to leave that the way that is. Catch up the sides here. All the sides. Yeah, I'm glad I got me some little music going on, man. I don't need any more clean water, I don't think. Okay, so now what's left is, oh, I forgot to put white in anything. Oh my God, I poured all that white, didn't even use it. But that's okay, because I'm liking this. This is cool. This is very cool. This is very, very cool. I'm liking this. So I think the last one, I'm going to use the white in. I'm going to use some orange and red and white and a little bit of purple. So I'm going to put this one over here on the side and then let that dry. That looks really awesome. I really like that. I don't know if you can see. It looks like a dress I have. And oh, wait, I forgot to put the little thing on there. Ooh, let's see what happens with that. Ooh, 'cause let's see if this has bubbles in it. Yeah. Ooh. Let's see if any bubbles come. Oh yeah, I'm seeing some bubbles. Let's see if it makes any big bubbles or little ones even. Because this had lots of bubbles in the purple. And until this dries, this paint keeps moving. Oh yeah, ooh, I'm seeing some really big ones pop up. Oh yeah. Oh man, it's almost a shame. You know, I love these paintings the way they are, but people are like, oh, I don't know, that doesn't look like anything. So I'm like, well, okay. I get more excited about it than most people do, so. But yeah, I am seeing some bubbles pop up. Oh wow, they look so cool. They look really cool. Unfortunately, I cannot tilt the thing, but maybe I'll like tilt the camera so you guys can see. It just looks like an underwater thing. It's like I feel like I should like turn this into an underwater painting or something. Put some fish on top. You might want to give me a shout out if I should like even use this for that guy. Because let me give you a real close up on this. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me flip it around so that you guys can see. So I can see what you're seeing. Oh, my glove doesn't work. Oh, I have to use my finger? Oh, man. For real? Wow, that's freaky. Okay, let me take my glove off so I can like flip this around so I can see what you're, so I can know what you're seeing and show you. Okay, alright, let me find my painting. Oh, that's my finger. Alright, what am I seeing? Where's the painting at? Okay. Alright, so the camera's over here. That's the camera in here, right there. Okay, gotcha. Okay, oh, let me be really careful not to, okay, so that's the camera. Okay. Well, how are you supposed to use this? Wow. Okay, so here's what it kind of looks like. Alright, that is the painting. So let me see if I can zoom out so you guys can see. This is what it's looking like. It's very, very cool. So that's what the whole thing looks like. I mean, it looks like it should be like underwater or something, like an underwater garden. So I'm like really digging that. And then when you go in really close, you can see, you know, it's got these little cool details in it. You know, it looks like, you know, like that's one of the big bubbles that popped up. There's another big bubble that popped up. You know, and they call those cells. I call them bubbles because they look more like bubbles than cells to me. Like people get like really huge ones and they're like, oh, look at those cells. And I'm like kind of happy with the small ones because the big ones, you lose all of your really cool little lines and stuff that you're getting. But, you know, I'm like, I like these. So, I don't know. I kind of feel like I should maybe, did that switch over? I kind of feel like I should maybe like keep that because that's really, really cool. Okay, let me see if I can get myself back in position here to do what I'm doing. I can't see anything with this light. Okay, oh yeah, better. Alright, so I'm going to put my glove back on because this is still really, really wet. And then I'm going to do the third one, which is going to be the orange and red. And this is going to have some white in it. Even though the painting itself has black in it, I'm going to do this one with orange and white. I'm going to put this little jewel. It's got this, I think this has jewel tones. So I'm going to put this little jewel toned one over here on the floor and clean up this area. And I'm going to try really hard not to flip this on the floor because that would be really tragic. That would be so tragic and wrong. I can't tell you how tragic and wrong that would be. Okay, so now I'm going to clean up. Wow, look at all that paint. That made a big old skin. I was doing this in a big giant plastic thing, but you can't see what I'm doing with that. So let me clean this up. I want to leave that because that's so cool. So let's do this. I'm going to flip this over. Inside of this box I have like a bunch of skins that I made that were on this big giant plastic thing that I was using. I just want to, like, I'm going to flip that over. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over so I can keep using this without going through all of that wiping. Alright, so here's my last canvas that I'm going to do today. And I'm going to put that on here. Oh, golly, I still got stuff everywhere. Ew. If you decide to do something like this, it's really messy. Now, if you're really, oh man, if you're really cool with just, you know, having an abstract painting, then, you know, obviously you can do this yourself. But if you want to have a painting that's of something, then, you know, it might be a little bit daunting for you. So now I'm going to do the one that has for the ballerina. And I'm going to add a little bit of brown with that to tone down some of that red and orange and blue. So I'm going to start with the red, because she's got a lot of red in her costume. She's playing the Firebird, And I don't know if anyone has ever seen the Firebird, but I've seen that play, ballet performed by the the Dance Theater of Harlem, and that is really an awesome. If you ever get a chance to see the Dance Theater of Harlem, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend taking your kids to see that. It is really awesome to see someone portray the Firebird, and to see a black ballerina perform it is just really magnificent. So I'm doing this because this has a lot of movement to it, and the picture that I'm looking at has a lot of movement to it. So I just want to do this like this and fill these in. And then I'm going to take some of this white, stir this white up, and put this white in here. I'm going to have to use this white on something else. I'm going to have to do another canvas with my leftovers. This is going to have a lot of paint on here, so a lot of it is going to get poured off. But the white always creates lots and lots of cells. And I'm going to put the white on the edges. And I'm going to put a little bit of brown inside. Just going to put a little tiny bit of brown inside. Just like really small amount, like just like trickles. I just want trickles of brown, just so I can have a little contrast in there. Okay, and then I'm going to take some of this white that's around the outside. I'm going to like spread that around the outside to kind of contain this. Okay, there we go. Alright, let's see what happens. Because this is an experiment to see what happens. And what is that? Oh my gosh, what is that? Oh, something from, you know, this is what happens when you don't clean out your thing. If you let that paint sit around too long, it starts to like move around. So I just want this white to be on the edge, and this is going to let some of that other paint it's going to, since my paint, and this is what I'm actually learning about, is that these canvases, you know, I don't know, when you buy canvases in bulk, apparently some of them are like smushed, and then they start doing weird stuff. So I kind of like what this is going on here. So I want to kind of try and keep some of this flow that I've got going. So I want some of this flow to keep going. And I'm just going to keep going around and around the edge. So I've got some little pink going on in there. It looks a little pink. Yeah, I'm not going to put any blue in here. I like what's going on here with this. And that white, it just kind of lets the other colors flow off of here. This is going to take a couple of days to dry because this is a lot of paint. But I kind of like what's going on here with it. Different. Okay, come on. Go to that corner, please. And it does have some of those little cells and bubbles and things that they all love so much. So I'm going to let some of those flow down And then I'm going to see if I can get some of them to pop out. So let me get another paper towel. Get some paper towels and wipe my hands off. Because this is really, really messy, this one. Got my gloves really messy, so I don't want to touch anything. I'm cleaning that off. Get another paper towel. So I can see this has a lot of cells in it, so this one's going to like burst out with lots of color and some of that pink. And this does not have any, again, this does not have any of the silicone in it. It just has the Floetrol in it, and that makes a lot of cells, and I'm really happy with that. So I'm going to try and see what happens with this. I'm going to start putting this heat on it, and it's going to make a lot of cells. I can see it's going to make lots of bubbles and cells. I'm really liking this. That little tiny amount of brown that I added is really coming through for contrast. This doesn't have really big cells, but, you know, you can see stuff underneath that's coming through. So there's going to be lots of movement in here. And this smells really painty too. So I'm glad I have the window open. You might want some ventilation when you do this. Or someplace well ventilated. Okay, now I'm getting a lot of cells over here on this side. And I'm getting some over here and some right here. Wow, they're really starting to pop out now. Especially in this red. Like really popping out all over. Okay, so I'm gonna stop doing that. And you know, I have a lot of paint left over, so I think I'll just make a really cool one, and I'll decide if I have a, I may do another one that I don't have already. Before I do that though, let me get some of this paint. I have some paint that's right here on the surface. I'm going to just grab. I have to be careful because I have another layer of paint underneath this that's brown, or that's green and red, and you know, all these weird colors that I've been using. So I just want to make sure that I get all of these little areas that are not covered. Pull some of that down. I'm making sure that I get all my little areas covered. So I can see right here on the surface, I have some paint still in my box, bottom of my box. So I just want to cover those areas. Make sure that we have 100% coverage here. Oops. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I got some white in here on the end here. So I can always put white on there and that won't be a problem. Especially right there in the corner where it's white. Okay, that's looking really cool, man. Really, really cool. Let's see. I have one more box one more shoe box. Oh wow, it's got on my desk. I have one more shoe box where I can use to do stuff. So I'm going to clean this off. Clean that off. That looks really cool. I'm really liking that. My ballerina is going to look really cool on that. you guys know you're going to have to tune in next week so you can see what happens with the ballerina and how it looks on this. And because this is going to keep moving, and it's going to keep, you know, it's not dry yet. So as long as it's not dry, it's going to keep changing. So as long as it's, you know, so I don't know what this is going to look like when it dries. And so as long as it keeps moving, it's going to keep changing. And it's going to keep changing and right up until it's extremely dry. And fortunately, here in Nevada, where it's very, very dry, and it hardly ever rains, that usually takes only a day or two. That particular one has a lot of paint on it, so it's going to take more than a day to dry. So, you know, it'll be like Monday before that thing is dry. And since tomorrow is the Super Bowl, that means that I will not be working on that tomorrow. Even if it were to dry tomorrow, I will not be working on that tomorrow. Because I'll be watching football. So I have 3 really different paintings. I was hoping that one would be more purple than red. So maybe I'll do, because that, you know, I think I want to do a different one for the brother. Because he's got a lot of purple and blue. And I just don't, that one just turned out more green. So I think I want to do another one for him that's more more blue, because that one's really more green. I only have one that's green in the whole repertoire of stuff. So that's a good thing, that it's green. But I really think I need one more that's green. Let me see if I have another small canvas back here in my closet, so that I can do that. Let's see. What's back here? Do I have good stuff back here? Or do I have this little one? I know I had a whole bunch of them. Huh. Yeah, wait, here we go. I do. Oh, no, that's black. Are all these black? They're all black? Oh, man, no, I don't want to use that. Huh. That's not the canvas. Seriously, I know I could not have run through all of those at one time. These are all big ones. No, I don't use a big one. I knew I had more. Yes, I have more. I have more. Okay, yeah, I know I had some more of these. So, I'm going to pop open another one of these things. Oh, gosh, it's so hot up here. Oh, I know I'm complaining about being hot, right? It's like, how dare you complain while we're freezing in Minneapolis? Karen Buford, what's wrong with you? Nothing's wrong with me. I refuse to turn on my air conditioner in February. Okay? That's just not right. Global warming is real. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know if it's global warming caused by humans, or if the planets are heating up, or what, but, you know, seriously, it is February, and it is 75 degrees. It's almost 80 degrees outside. That is not right, okay? It's not supposed to be like that. Not here. It's supposed to be 40 degrees outside. Okay, I'm supposed to have all my windows and doors closed and have the heat on. So, you know, people can tell me what they want to, but there's something wrong with that. Something wrong with that picture. I'm not going to be on no political soapbox or nothing like that, because people don't want to hear that from artists. If I want to do political art, they might buy that, they might not. So, you know, I'm not going to get all into that. I'm just saying. It's kind of warm. Where did I get these? It's a little bit warm here. Alright, so, let's see. I still have, what colors do I have left? I have some purple. I have purple, brown, white, tiny bit of red. So let's see, I think I want to have a little bit of this purple. I can use that. And I think I'm just going to add whatever colors I have left. I'm going to add a little bit more Floetrol to those, and whatever I got is what I got, and that's what I'm getting. Okay? I'm going to use up whatever's on here and put it on there. And then I'm going to add some more blue, though, because I want that to be a little bit more blue. Okay? And, where is it? Primary blue. I'm going to add a little bit more primary blue, because that's a really nice color. And, you know, his thing is, it really is more like blue-violet. It really is. So, I'm just going to add some more blue. And, we'll see what happens. Hey, Jonathan. It's not upside down this time, Jonathan. I checked. It looked right side up when I was doing it, so all the words are right side up this time. So I don't know when you joined me, but I've been doing like acrylic pour. So I'm gonna try and do one last one because I have some leftover colors, and we'll see how this one turns out. I always want to add like a really cool color in there, so I'm going to add this turquoise in there, just because it's such a cool color. And because I love it. Because I love it. Because I love turquoise. And this one's called turquoise. There's one that's called something like, there's one that's called, what's it called? It's called Atlantis. That one's cool. You know, like, there's something to be said for these colors from, you know, Walmart and Michael's and places that, you know, they don't cost a lot, but they have very cool acrylic colors. And, you know, I find that these colors are, even though they're inexpensive, they are good acrylic colors. They really are. So, oh man, I used up all my clean water. Oh, I didn't. I have clean water right here. Okay, so pour a little bit more in there. And I don't think I'm going to add any red. I'm just going to use Floetrol in my red. This one needs a stick. Okay, so down here I have all my colors. You guys don't see that. But that's not very much. Wow. I should add a little bit more of that. What color is that? Turquoise. It's turquoise. Yeah, I'm going to add a little bit more of this. Nah, I'm just going to use that. Yeah, a little bit more. Tiny bit more. Being indecisive here. Okay, so add a little bit more of that. Put some more blue in here. Hopefully nothing weird comes out of here again. Okay, so I'm going to add my Floetrol. Oh man, I forgot to shake it up. You got to shake this stuff up, otherwise it separates out, and whatever oily stuff is in here, because there's some kind of oily stuff in here, that's probably what makes the bubbles. Whatever oily stuff is in here goes to the bottom, and then or separates up to the top, and then you don't get whatever. You don't get whatever it is that's in here that makes all the bubbles, that makes it real cool. So I'm going to add some Floetrol to this one. And that makes bubbles right away. I'm going to add a tiny bit more to the red. And a little bit more to that blue-violet. So I don't have very much of it. Some more to the blue. A little bit more to this purple that I have. And a little bit more to the brown. I don't want too much brown in there, but I got some. So I'm going to add a little bit of all these colors, just enough so that I can get them off the bottom of the cup. Okay, so let's see what happens here with this, because it's going to be enough to pour like a couple of drops out, and that's it. Because this is truly the bottom of this. It's going to be like some kind of little weird rainbow thing. I don't know how, oh shoot. I don't know how this is going to turn out. But that's going to be, this purple is going to be the primary color here. And we'll just see what happens, because I have no idea. This is a total experiment here. I left that blue though, but I want it to be, wow, that's a lot of blue on there. Oh my god, probably shouldn't have added that much. It's supposed to be dark. Ooh, wow, that's really thick. Okay, well, we'll see what happens with that. Okay, here we go. We're going to see what's going to happen. We're going to see, oh wow, this purple's really thick. Oh, it should never be that thick. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm going to start him like I did the other one, in a circle. Let's see what happens. I'm going to put that white on the outside. I'm going to put the blue in the center. Oops. Man, there's stuff in here. That's disheartening. I gotta pick that stuff out. I don't have any tweezers. Now, you can't wait forever with this stuff, because if you do, you know, I'm just gonna have to like, oh no, I don't want to get stuff on me. Closest thing I have to tweezers are these little, wow, that's a big piece of whatever that is. Okay, let me get some paper towels handy for me to use when it's time to wipe my hands off. Well, I can see it making bubbles already, so that's kind of a good thing. I'm going to put some red in here, because, you know, some colors, they start taking over, and you just don't know what's going to happen with them. Remember how that brown just kind of went everywhere? This red might do the same thing. I'm sure that the yellow and the orange can definitely do the same thing, but I'm going to take some of this blue here, because this is really, really, this may go everywhere too. I just love this color though. I do. I really do. Okay, so I'm going to take some of this purple, outline the purple, outline this blue, because this is really thick too. Yeah, no, you don't get to go all the way over there. Okay. Add a tiny bit of yellow in there. It's going to be everywhere. I'll put this white around the edges, because it's still pretty thick. Okay, so we'll see what happens. Add a little bit of brown in there. So my little brown. This is just going everywhere. And I'm going to do one other thing to it. See what happens to it. So I'm going to take my little comb through it. That's too big. A little comb. Oh, that's the big comb. I'm going to take my little comb and comb through it. See what happens. That's looking cool already. So let's see what happens with my little, oh, too much brown. Dang, that brown just took over, man. It took all the way over. Let me pour it off. I'm pouring that brown off now. It just took, I just added a tiny bit of it, and it's just like, I'm taking over now. I don't care what you're trying to do, I'm taking over. It just took over my painting. Okay. Alright, the white's gone. Gone, but not forgotten. Okay, I'm kind of liking that better. Okay, but I still want to do some stuff to it right quick while I have it. I want to do that combing technique again. And I want to comb it right through. Go this way. And go this way. So I'm really liking how that does, how that works. I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Now, I'm going to do my last little technique on here, which is make my cells. Because I see them popping up. So I'm going to make them and let them pop up through those little grids. I have some little grids here. I got some white bubbles popping up. So let's see what happens with this. There's a lot of paint on here. I got some greens, some purples, some yellows. Let some of this white pop through. Let some of this blue pop through. I'm just going to pop through these little geometric grids. And then I'm like, grid it again. And that tool you saw me use, that was a tool that I made myself. I had to take a course on bookmaking and learned how to make books, and I learned how to do marbling, and that's a marbling technique. So I'm getting some pretty good cells. Some pretty, this is looking really cool. Oh yeah, it's like busting apart now, right on the seams of those. Where that white is, it's really popping out. Might do the same over here. So it's kind of expanding. And I'm liking that, like kind of on the edges, where you would really see. It's really, really interesting. It's not as interesting in the middle, but on the edges where you would see, it's really, really interesting. And the middle, not so much. But the edges are really interesting, and that's the part I really want to be interesting. I don't know if you guys can see better. You see better? Oh, wow, you can't see anything? Wow. Okay, I guess I have not enough light. Okay. So it's really interesting on the edges here, and not as interesting in the middle. The middle's okay. It has a little bit more color, but on the edges, that's where my picture is going. That's where it's going to be the background. That's the part that I want to be interesting, because right here in the middle is where my photograph is going to be, and that part is not going to be seen because the photograph is going to be there, and then because I can actually just see where the person is going to be, and his dreads are going to be over here flying off, and this is going to be his head, and then his dreadlocks are going to be flying off like in this direction here, and then this will be his head, and that'll be his shoulders over there. So that's perfect. That came out just the way I intended. And I think sometimes your intention when you're doing this may have something to do with it. I don't know. That could just be my thought process and may have nothing to do with anything. You never know. I don't know. Surely I do not know. But, you know, that's just how I feel about it. And so I don't know if that's true or not. But, oh, let me finish putting there's a couple places here that did not get paint. So let me drag some of that paint down here. And there's a whole lot of it everywhere, too. Golly, let me find some places where it's not orange. Aww. Come on, man. All this paint that poured everywhere, all I can see is orange. I do not want orange paint. Okay, I don't know. Okay, so if you're loving it, let me know. Again, I'll have my art show on the 23rd and the 24th. Oh, excuse me, on the 24th and the 25th of February. That's this month now. So I'm getting all this stuff done, so I have my art show. So I have this for my art show. And you can get your early bird passes for that show by going to, where did I do that piece of paper? Oh man, it's somewhere. I'll get you that information in just a second. But it's Black Heritage Virtual Art Show, Black Heritage Art Show, and it's the 23rd and the 24th. I will put the link up. I know I did not do that last week. I kind of fell down on the job, y'all. I'm sorry. I had grades to do. I still have grades to do. I had grades to do. I had lesson plans due, which I have some more now due still. It's hard to have 2 jobs at the same time. It is. I need to only have one that pays. You know, it's hard to not be able to just do what you love, what's your first love, not your second love. Okay, so that's done. I think I got everything covered. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to put this one over here on the shoebox. Let's see, I better put it the other way, because that's not enough room. Okay, let me try and get over here so it doesn't push that over. There we go. So now I have 4 paintings. I would love to do one more painting, but I do not have any more room in my studio on the floor to do that. So I'm going to have to break this stuff down and stop my little painting process, as much as I love doing this. And believe me, this can be addictive. Oh, and this is really cool. And when this stuff dries, I save this. I don't throw this away. I save this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but you can do stuff with it. So this orange and this blue mixing together, and this acrylic skin, I save this. I have a whole box of them in here that I save. And then, who knows, I can maybe cut those out and do some kind of little abstract people or something like that. Like do some abstract African women with stuff on their head or something. But I do have some more of these that I can use. I could do one more, but I just I do have one thing that I can put these on, so I could maybe do one more painting. Oh man, this is just too addictive. Really, seriously, it's too addictive. It's just not right. Okay, this is the last thing I'm doing, and then we'll see how much. I have some white. Okay, just gonna pour this in the center. I don't know what this is gonna be. I'm just trying to get rid of paint right now. So I don't like to waste paint. I really don't. Oh, let's see. Let's try a different color. Let's try purple. So I'm just pouring paint now to see what happens. I'm just pouring stuff in here. Some in here. Okay, let's see. Pour some more purple. I have some more purple. Pour some more white. Add a little bit more white. This white's really thick. Oh man. Dang it. Let's see, I still have a little bit more purple in here. Let me pour some orange. I have some orange still in here. Pour some of that. Let's see. Oh, I got some brown. Put some brown in there. I'm not real partial to the brown, but you never know what can happen with it. Do I have any more blue left? Who knows what this is going to be? It's just a wait and see game. Okay, let's see what's happening here with this. Okay, let's see if there's some more white. This white's really thick. Okay, if by chance there's any yellow left, oh yeah, there's a little bit of yellow. Usually when people do leftover paint, they never know what they're going to get, and it turns out to be real cool. So we'll see. Okay, this is the last of the orange. And let's see, is there any more red? This color. Yeah, really small amount of that. Okay. Alright. So now I'm going to start letting it go where it's going to go. See if there's enough to cover stuff. There's not a whole lot. And I see that there's some little pieces in there. Let it cover as much of it as it can, and whatever it won't cover, then I guess I'll have to just like it's making some weird colors, man. That looks kind of weird. I don't know if I like it or not. We'll see. Let me let it fall down this way and see what happens. I might have to mix up some more white or something to help it out. I'm not going to mix any more purple. Let me mix some more white right quick, because that's the easiest thing to do. This white almost has the Floetrol in it. I'm just going to pour some directly on there. No, I'm not. I'm just going to put some in here and put some Floetrol on there. See what happens with that. So I don't really want to. Oh, that's too much. Dang, man. Okay. Doesn't have any water. It's just the backwards way to do this. Water, then Floetrol. Now I have too much paint. Anytime I've seen people do this, it has not turned out the way they wanted it to, but you never know. I don't know how happy they were with it, but I wasn't not happy with it so far. We'll see. I like parts of it. I'm going to defer to putting some in this cup. Adding a little bit more purple in there. Some water in there. I'm just going to put some water in some of these and see what happens. Yeah, even though this isn't the color I had, I'm just going to put some in there because some of this needs to be broken up. So I'm not liking it. So let's see what happens. Water and Floetrol, let's see what happens. Okay, let's try it again. See what's going on now. I don't like the brown at all. Ew. I'm really unhappy with that whole concept. I don't know that I like this at all. We'll see. Oh, ew. We'll see what happens. Let's get some of this blue in here. I hate finger painting. Let's try this, guys. See what happens. I like the middle of it. Kind of nice. Let's see what happens down here. Come on. Flow, flow, flow. It's not too bad. I'm not terribly thrilled, but I've been happier. Other people may like it more than me. You know, I can never say what people will like and what they won't. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean that you won't. Kind of liking the corner over there. That's kind of cool. It's not too bad, actually. It's kind of okay. If I could get some of these things to flow down around here a little bit. It's kind of okay. It's not too bad. This will be the last one, and I'll be signing off, y'all. Just trying to figure this out. You know, sometimes it works the way you want to, and then sometimes you're in for the surprise. You know, and you just kind of have to go with the flow, literally. Go with the flow. You do. Sometimes you just have to go with the flow. And then you get what you get. And, you know, sometimes you get surprised. I think this one's kind of interesting. Has some little interesting things going on in it. I'm going to leave it like this because I kind of like the way that the colors are progressing. So I'm going to leave it alone. It's turned out better than I thought. Who knew? I'm going to put some colors on the end of my finger and go around the edge to make sure that all the edges are covered. much. Oh, that was my knee that popped. If you heard a big pop, that was my knee. Yeah, getting old. Okay. Well, interesting, to say the least. Alrighty. That's not too bad. Okay, let me get another paper towel, and yeah, you go through a lot of paper towels with this, by the way. Okay, I just need to put my hands in some water right quick, because that's just yucky. That's just yucky. But it's kind of cool, okay? I'm not really unhappy with that. I'm kind of cool with that. It's kind of okay. It reminds me of a person I knew when I was first in college that painted with liquid acrylics. That's kind of why I started doing this, because that person got some really cool results with this. He was the first person I ever saw that did poured paintings, and that was like in the 70s. And he had some really expensive, oh wow, super expensive liquid acrylic paint, and he did liquid acrylic poured paintings. His name was Jimmy Carter. I don't know if he's still alive these days, but what did I do to add paint to make the bubbles? I used this stuff. It's called Floetrol. I don't know if you can see it. And that adds the bubbles. And then this is the next thing I'm going to do. This is a heat gun. Now, a lot of people use this, which is a torch. And I would use this torch, but I neglected to buy some butane. So I guess I won't be using that since I don't have no butane. But I'm going to use this heat gun. And this adds the bubbles too. Takes a little longer. But the bubbles just come up automatically, John, when you put the Floetrol. You can also use silicone. And some people use this stuff called treadmill oil. Treadmill silicone. I couldn't find that. But I didn't use any silicone treadmill oil in this. I just used the Floetrol. And I have to warn you, this is addictive. It's very addictive. Once you start it, you don't want to stop. And you have to figure out what to do with it, because I swear, people looked at me like I was crazy talking about asking them for money for this. They're like, well, I can do that myself. And I'm like, okay, go right ahead. But, you know, some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube where the people were doing it, I was like, and why would you do that? Some people don't know when to stop. Okay, I'm not getting a whole lot of bubbles out of this one. Because, I don't know. Sometimes when you mess with it a long time or for a lot, the bubbles are gone. I don't know. Yeah, this one isn't doing anything but making me hot. Oh, I'm going to leave that alone. That one's not doing anything to make me hot. So, it's already hot here, so I'm done with that whole concept. Alright, so that one looks pretty cool. Man, did I paint on the floor? Oh, man. I paint on me. Alright, so this one looks pretty cool. I hope you guys can see. I have like a glare on my iPad of this area. So I can't see what you guys are seeing. So whenever I put my hands down here, then I can see better. Because this is the glare coming off of the plastic that's on my thing. So, oh guys, that doesn't look good. So I guess you can see better when I don't do that. Okay, so I hope that answered your question, Jonathan. Like I said, the Floetrol, it makes the bubbles. This one didn't have as much, but this has like a lot of cool little lines in it that I really kind of like. So I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but you know, I have a couple of more paintings that are just this. And if people want to buy those, then, you know, hey, that's something they can have, you know, they can buy. I haven't really thought about a price for those. The price that I had set at the art show, people looked at me like I was crazy. And they just took pictures of it so they could see if they could try and make it themselves. And I'm like, lady, you don't have any idea how I did that or what I did with that. You don't know what I put in there to get that or nothing. What colors I used, nothing. And, you know, you can go home and try and recreate that, but I can't recreate it. So, at any rate, oh, no, I can't do that yet. Let me take this and put this away. At any rate, I am burning up because that made me extra hot. And I got no air flowing in here. And I'm not turning on the air conditioning because, you know, it's February and I don't think that that's right. It shouldn't be this hot in February. Okay, I think I have one more thing to put this up on. I have my little plastic thing that I can put this up on. Uh-oh. Storage is almost full. Uh-oh. I got